Hello guys, Dennis here. Oh, today is Sunday. That means tomorrow is Monday. Tell me why I don't like. Alright, so instead of giving a rant, we're gonna have a listen to this guy over here. Here we go, guys.
Being absolute and utter realist, especially with uncomfortable truths. I was pointing out that very uncomfortable.
Is that a truth?
It's an uncomfortable truth in many.
He's talking about uncomfortable truth, and we live in a world where people hate the truth. That's the way it is. You talk to a Muslim, they're gonna hate when you tell them that Islam is the most evil religion around. You talk to a Christian, and you tell them, you know what, you've worked on a Saturday, the Sabbath in Spanish, sábado, and they'll be like, and they hate the uncomfortable truths. All right, next.
Parts of the world. It's not a truth that I'm happy about. I don't want to be seen as a negative influence in the world. I know that there's a whole bunch of men. I get thousands of emails a week from men whose lives I've saved. I get thousands of emails a week from men who are on the verge of suicide and I've saved their lives. I believe in protecting and providing. I've been misunderstood. I don't want anybody to be offended by anything I say. I want to be a positive force in the world. I don't want anybody to hear what I say and make them feel bad about themselves. I want all people to live righteous and good, whether they're male or female. I think righteous is living true to your heart and knowing that you're doing good by people, not snaking anybody, not lying to anybody. I know I live a very righteous life. The government's not capable of helping the poor. And this is why it's so important as a person you take personal responsibility and understand you're living in a world where the matrix can be cracked, you can make a bunch of money, but you need to take responsibility and do it. I refuse to accept that there are people out there who cannot become happy, contented individuals. I refuse to accept.
So guys, he refuses to accept that people cannot be happy, contented with that. And that's pretty good. Continue.
We live in a world where God is creating people who, no matter how hard they work and how good their life becomes, can't be happy. I don't accept that. I accept that the universe is a very giving place and that God loves all of us.
That's pretty good, huh? Yeah, the universe is a giving place. It is. Let's just say we won a time lotto because, man, if I was born 80 years ago, I'd have to fight in a stupid war. My toes would be eaten by rats sitting in a trench. No, thank you for that. So yeah, the universe is a giving place as long as you go out there and do it and get what you want. I just want my piece of the pie, guys. The piece of the pie. I don't want to. Guys, we'll just continue this one.
Try your best and you work hard, you can become a better person. I'm telling the younger generation that if they don't get up and work hard and make sure that they're important, that the world's not going to get about. 99% of my content was aimed at men, telling them the truth, saying that as a man, you're born with no inherent value. You have to become important. You have to go through some pain or go through some suffering to make people care about you.
Yeah, he's right. Pretty much us men are invisible, just like women over 40 are invisible. So you gotta go out there, grab that value, and it's like, he'll say it later on, it's like, you have to have a plan. It's like, no one just wakes up with a fucking six-pack. But if a six-pack was easy to get, everyone would have had one. No, the plan is, you gotta work your ass off and get that six-pack, guys. If you want to drink and smoke like I do, so be it, but I do have that six-pack. Moving on.
Otherwise, you're not going to matter. As a dude, if you walk into the party and you put no effort into your life, nobody about you. And every man out here knows. And one of the great things about the masculine journey and masculinity is that we've all lived a semi-similar story. It's kind of cool. Like, we've all been the teenager, gets heartbroken. We've all been unimportant. We've all worked hard and then starting to get some clout. And then we've all kind of lived the same kind of journey. So I say to everybody out there, yeah, if you don't follow that path and follow that journey and in one way or another get to the top, whether it's fighting, whether it's comedy, whether it's musician, whatever it is, if you're just going to stay somewhere near the bottom and then at the age of 44, email me saying I'm depressed, well, of course you're depressed, loser.
Yeah.
But that was your choice because you have to build yourself as a man. And if you decide not to build yourself, then your life's going to suck.
Yeah.
My main message is to resist the slave mind, to understand that every single thing you're being told has an agenda behind it, or you would be told otherwise. To examine every strongly held belief you have and try and identify where it comes from, why you have it. I sit and argue with people, I discuss things with people, and they so fervently believe a point. And I say, why do you believe that so much? Like, do you have personal experience? No, but I saw the news. The news told you X, and now you are desperate. You will sit here for hours arguing that point. A lot of people are completely empty vessels ready to be programmed. And I try and tell people, listen, to just stop for a second and understand that the things they're telling you to believe are not necessarily for your benefit. The people who make the rules don't make the rules for the benefit of everybody. They make the rules for the benefit of the people who make the rules of the game. So telling people to resist a slave mind and just be critical thinkers, keep their brain open, pay attention to things, be perspicacious, that's the general theme. And it doesn't matter whether you're left, right, liberal, man, woman, etc. It's just think for yourself. That's the general message. I believe men and women are a beautiful union. I think we're slightly...
Yeah, he's exactly right. Men and women are a beautiful union. Why? Just because. No, it's actually pretty good. The problem with women is when they clean your house, they leave things, they put things where you can't find them. That's the only shitty deal out of that.
Different, but when we work together, we're the most powerful force in the world. And I certainly believe that men and women, when they work together, it's the most beautiful force on the planet. Of course I believe in men and women. Of course I believe in love. Of course I believe in marriage. Of course I believe in family. I believe in marriage in the traditional sense. I believe a man has a duty to stand up and be a real man. I believe that the problem with the world today that we are facing is that not enough men are sticking to the age-old ways of masculinity. I believe that me standing up and saying a man must protect a woman and provide for her, so he needs to make sure...
Yeah, man. Back in the West, holy smokes, these men are feminized. They are... I don't want to say little bitches, but men in the West, they're fucking weak. They're weak. And I guess that's why. That is why the West is going down. And unless, how do I put it? To not be too strident or too, the fucking men suck in the West. These guys are weak as hell, and it's just so sad because if you go back, the guys that fought in the wars that gave us, the men and the women, the freedom, they'd be rolling in their graves like these little. Yeah, they are little. These guys are so little. It's like the guys that fought for the freedoms and freedom of speech and blah, 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 and everything you have to make life better, and you have these guys complaining, oh, I put these little things. Our ancestors, guys, they fought in wars. You get the point. All right, let's go.
That she's safe. He needs a degree of authority. I believe women are sovereign individuals and they can make any choice they so desire. I think that it's important that we remember that a man has a duty. I think I certainly in my relationship have a financial responsibility to provide for my woman. My woman would never have to work unless she...
Financial responsibility. Hell yes. We have that on. We gotta go out there in the world. Guys, yes, we have to go out there in the world to get that money back. Do we want to go out there and... No. But the worst thing is, if you won the lotto, you'll be worse off than if you didn't. So we go out there in the world and we do things that we don't want to do. I have a boss. I got like 5 bosses. So I was like, do this, do this, do this. All right, but I'll do it. Just make sure you pay me on time. Yeah, that's for now. Come later. Oh boy, we'll see.
Want to do because I'm the kind of person who works hard enough. And I'll make another point that needs to be said. The number of women who have stood up and stuck up for me is ignored. Thousands of women are making videos saying, I've met Andrew Tate, he's such a nice guy. I wish I had a man like Andrew Tate who felt responsible to protect and provide for me. You know what? I do belong to my husband, and that's why I married him and I love him. We ignore the thousands of women who stood up and stood by me and said everything I said is true. It's just that there's a large contingent of men who still want to make money, go to the gym, be strong, drive a fast car, be traditionally masculine, and don't want to be shamed for that. And I believe that feeling depressed is real. I don't believe depression as a clinical disease is real. I think PTSD is very real. Unfortunately, I have some friends who suffer from that. I know that feeling depressed is real. I believe.
Well, depression happens when you stay idle. When you're idle, it's like you're moving nowhere fast. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, there are people who are depressed. Of course they are. It's like, you think this life is euphoria? Oh no, it's not. It's a battle. And yeah, there'll be challenges, guys. There will be challenges. That's why the people you hang out with are very important, because if you hang around with losers, then you're gonna be like them. So do not do that.
That the number one power you have against these things are trying to take control of your own mind and affecting your own life. I believe that it's not healthy to hand over all your power and believe that depression is an outside disease that you can't affect. I know that when I've had difficult periods in my life, and also many of my friends, like I said, suffered from PTSD and been through terrible things. I've lived a very difficult life, and I know people who have, that the things that made them feel better is when they woke up and said, you know what, I'm not gonna allow this to damage me anymore. I'm gonna take responsibility. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna
Yeah, exactly. Take responsibility. All right, so when you lend somebody money, for example, guys, number one, don't lend them money. You give them money so that they won't ask for more in the future. You don't lend, you give them. Because once you lend, it's a master-slave relationship, and you don't want that. All right.
Like, this as hard as I can. If someone comes to me and says I'm clinically depressed or I feel very, very sad, I would say the first thing you need to do is stop accepting the identity of a clinically depressed person. Stop accepting you have no control over this. And what you need to do is stop identifying that way, and let's work together to try and fight against it. A lot of people who are clinically depressed are suffering with something in their life, and if you fix the problem in their life, perhaps they won't feel depressed anymore. The thousands of people who have emailed me saying, my doctor told me I was clinically depressed and it's a disease that I have got in my brain and I can't be fixed. And I started listening to you and I realized that that's not the case and I can fix my own life, and you're the only person who has ever helped me. I believe feeling depressed is real. I do not believe it's a disease that you catch from the sky and you cannot affect.
Well said, man. Well said. Shall we continue? Let's go.
I believe that no matter what happens, I believe you have control of your own mind and you can fight against it. I believe if you change your circumstances in your life, you may feel different. I'll give you a quick example. I had a guy who emailed me saying he was clinically depressed and he was going to kill himself. I obviously am not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor. I told him, because I replied to my emails. I said, have you been to a psychiatrist? He said, yes, I'm clinically depressed. I've been on these pills, this amount of time. I'm on antidepressants and it doesn't work.
Speaking of emails, my email is kansaimagic@gmail.com.
Said, I don't know what to say to you besides this. And he said he lost his girlfriend, that's why he became clinically depressed. I said, listen, go to the gym, get a six-pack first. Once you got a six-pack, email me again. If you still feel like killing yourself, I don't know what else to say to you. I'd say, strong body is a strong mind, go train. He went, he started sending me progress pictures, emailing me him getting in better shape, and eventually got a six-pack. He's now a professional bodybuilder. And he said, I can't believe I was considering that. I feel so much better, etc. The doctor was telling him he was clinically depressed and couldn't cure it. He started taking control of his own life, and now he felt better. That if somebody has depression of any kind, whether it's clinical, whether it exists or not, whether they feel depressed or not, whatever, that taking control of their life, taking personal responsibility, and working hard is always going to be the positive, best thing they can possibly do for their life going forward.
How positive is it?
Of course, money can't buy happiness. I agree. But money is the third most important thing in the world versus your...
Yeah, guys, we need cash. We need money, guys. We need money. Without that, pretty much, we're screwed. That's why if you... Well, luckily, from Canada, I went to Japan, and there's a lot of money in Japan. Again, like this guy said, not in this video, but in other videos, you don't make money. You take money. So, apply for a job. Da-da-da. Well, that's a beginner's. The best is to make a business. And you don't make money, you take money. So once the government has taxed you, the livestock, they still have a little bit of money left over, and then you have to take that from them. How? Well, value. Give them some kind of value. Exchange goods for their paper. So, forget about saving. Saving is, well, you need at least some savings in the bank, of course. 6 months at least, because there's a good word I learned years ago. It's called vicissitude. Life's vicissitudes. Things always go wrong, and you need some money in the bank for that. And when things go wrong, for a rainy day, yes. But with extra, you can't just save it, man. The government's printing money like crazy, man. It's like they're just printing. And if you're saving, it's like you're outmatched. It's pretty much gone, guys. Not gone, but just inflation and shit like that. Guys, I thought this video would be easy, but no. I want to rant more, but we'll leave it to this guy. Anyway, we talked about luck. All right, this lady, not so lucky. Guys, you gotta go through these books, guys. You gotta go through these books. Here's the Hunchback. Here's the basic word list. For example, what is a tyro? What is sate? What is dogmatic? What is amalgamate? Guys, this book, 1 year university for $10. Sounds good? Yes, it is. Continue. We'll continue.
First is your health, because you have nothing, you're going to die. Second is your relationships, because you need love and family, that matters the most. But money can buy everything else. So money's the third most important thing. The average people come to me and say, what do? I'm just the average guy. And my only answer is stop being the average guy. It's my only answer. You can't just be the average guy anymore.
He's exactly right. You just can't be the average guy anymore, because there's too many of those, we call them salmon kind of deals. The salmon, they swim upstream and then they freaking die in the end. You can't be the average guy. You have to be a little bit more. You gotta be someone that is better than average. Yeah, average sucks. Mediocrity, not good enough. All right.
The idea from the 1950s that you can just be the normal, average, law-abiding, hard-working citizen and you'll have a good life is gone. Any man out here who goes, I'm just going to work hard, do my bit, and obey the laws, and I'll have a good life. No, you won't. No, you will not. Just doing your job is never going to make you rich, because you're just going to be taxed into infinity and you're going to stay broke. So just obeying laws and doing your job now has set you up to be a peon and a slave for eternity. You have to get yourself in.
Well, not eternity, but yeah, pretty much he's right on. It's not eternity, but luckily there's no heaven, there's no hell, there's no eternity. We have this life and this life only, and yeah, it is a struggle, and yeah, you just can't be the average man.
Position where you're making enough money, you don't know what to talk about, then you don't understand money. So go learn how money works. Go learn how a bank works. Go sit on YouTube for free. You don't just pay 50 grand in 4 years of university. Go sit on YouTube and understand money, banking, or the real estate market, any of it. Understand the last housing price crash, why it happened. Understand mortgage rates and how it's affected by interest rates. Understand it, and then go sit with someone else who understands it and talk about it. People should, even if they haven't got a penny in the world, should be going to these meetings about real estate, about investing, especially if it's cheap, they should go. Just meet other people who at least have money. Have conversations about money. Talk about it. How are you going to get what you don't talk about? And yes, the cycle of precipitation, right? So A cloud comes, it rains, it falls down to the ground, it goes under the ground, whatever, goes into a stream, it moves into the stream, goes to the ocean, evaporates again up to a cloud, floats somewhere else, falls down again. It's always moving. That's how money is. People think that money is in these large, stagnant pools hidden in people's bank accounts. That's not really true. Money is constantly moving all the time. And if you can find a way to get in between.
Money is constantly moving. Oh yes. He's got that pretty much. The bullseye. He's hit that on the mark. It's constantly moving, so you gotta get in the way when it's moving.
Mean it, stand in the right place at the right time, you're gonna get wet. I think that's the new modern way to view the world. It's an attention economy. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're getting attention, you'll make money. One habit that people need to adopt, and this is a habit I had for a very long time, and I've actually recently cleared it from my brain because I've reached a point where peace of mind is worth more than money. But every single time money is spent, you need to identify how your money was taken from you. And I say taken because
every single time you spend cash, you have to realize how they got you to spend that. Nice. And then you can do the same.
Money can't be made. Money is taken. Because the only people who can make money are the governments. If you're a government, you can make money. You can print it from thin air or a bank. But if you're a person, you're not making money. You're convincing other people to give it to you. You're taking money from others. So every single time you spend money on anything, you need to identify how it was taken from.
See? Why didn't they tell me that in school?
You go and buy a coffee. Don't just go buy the coffee and sit down. Sit and say, why did I buy this coffee? Okay, I really want coffee. Yeah. But then why did I go into this store and not that store? Is it better advertising? Does it have less of a line? Do they have seating? How did they convince me to come in here? How much did this coffee cost? £6. What's the profit margin on that? Probably £5.50, £5.80 probably by the time the cup probably costs more than the coffee. The coffee is just water. How did they convince me to spend £6 in this place? And when you sit there and analyze it, you also start to learn little lessons about business. You'll learn about the importance of the signage. You'll learn about the importance of there being no queue. Yeah. So that if you ever run a business, I say with my business, my people all the time, faster. All the time, quicker. Yeah. I have a couple businesses that are physical. I'm like, I don't want to see a line. I don't want it to see empty because it looks bad. So when there's lines, you work fast. When we're down to 1 or 2 people, you take your time, you talk to the customer. You keep it so there's always one person. Manage the line. People don't think about this stuff. No one's gonna sit and wait in a long queue. Maybe some idiots will, but people like me won't. We got shit to do, right? My time's worth money. I'm not gonna stand and wait in a line. So you have to identify how your money is taken from you. If you start doing that with every single time you spend anything ever.
Oh, that takes a lot of time to think about. Just go to the store, buy something, and then if you wanna do the deep thoughts by Jack Handy, you can't. That's a lot of brain power. It's like, okay, they took my money. How did they take it? Da 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 da. That takes a long time, but it's so interesting.
You're going to start to identify business opportunities, and you're going to sit there and you're going to have coffee, and you're going to go, you know what? They could have sold cake, and they didn't. Could I outcompete this place? Let's imagine I had the money to start a coffee shop right next door. How would I outcompete them? Well, I'd have cake, because they don't have cake. Also, most people in here are businessmen. And the guy serving some dude. No, we need a cute waitress. His ass is fired. We need a chick. Got a chick here, some cake in. Financial Times, some business people in. Let's do ding.
We need a chick here, a chick there. Did he say chick? Oh no, the people of today, they'll say, oh no, he's a misogynist. Women are chicks.
People don't even think about this stuff. They don't use their brain ever. They don't ever look around and realize how they're spending their money. They don't look around and look at which businesses are successful. They don't look around and pay attention to anything. They don't look at the world and all the things that are happening and how it can benefit them. None of it. They don't look at any of it. They're too busy following the circus. Just watch the clown world. I was walking to college with a couple of my friends, and a Ferrari drove past. I said, bro, you see that? And he goes, yeah, what about it? And I said, doesn't that piss you off? I must have been 16. He goes, why? This dude has 400 G's for a car, 400 grand. I'm walking 4 miles to college and my mom hasn't got any car. He has 400 grand. Do you think he works a job? Do you think he's behind a counter somewhere? He knows something about the world that I don't know. And they were like,
he knows something about the world that I don't know. Brilliant.
well, he's rich. I'm like, yeah, I know. I didn't say he wasn't rich, dummy. I'm saying he knows something about the world I don't know. And I was intrigued, and it angered me. I couldn't sleep for weeks. I was pissed off. Every time I saw somebody with genuine money, I understood that everything I was being told and taught and they were trying to make me believe just simply wasn't true. I was like, none of these people are getting these things by following the path that the system is trying to make me follow. And everybody intrinsically knows this. If you go to if you're at BP, you're at a petrol station, and I pull up in my Lamborghini, nobody goes, wow, he went to school. He studied hard. And they do that because they know that the easiest way to amass wealth is to break the rules, because the rules are not designed to allow most people to make money. You can make money.
The rules are not allowed for people to get rich. Yup. Yes.
Because the rules, of course you can. But most people don't. Most people who follow the path work, consume, die. That's it. So I always knew the same thing as you, and I knew there had to be another way. I knew that just working for money was a paradigm that wasn't true. And then you understand making your money work for you, and you understand delinking your time from money. You start learning to understand these things, but eventually you build a system, and you build an ecosystem like me. I have 60 or 70 people work for me all around the world, and things just happen and money just kind of appears as long as everything's well organized. I mean, in my experience, like, imagine if I didn't have all this money and I had to go get a job again, I'd get a sales job, because I've always been a salesman, and I think that's a very important life skill to have.
Salesman, hell yes. You want to find a woman, you gotta be a good salesman. You're selling yourself, right? You want to get money, you gotta sell, and it's unfortunate that in this world we live in, they promote job. A job is a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Guys, you got me on Sunday night. You got me on Sunday night, and why am I down? Because tomorrow's Monday, and Monday I gotta work my ass off.
With sales, like, deal with the stress and have a commission-only environment. But I don't know if they even teach sales in university. Yeah, it's all garbage. They don't teach anything important. They just teach anything. They teach things that are going to keep you inside the slave mind. And they want you to go to school and then go to college.
They want you to go to school and college, and they teach you pretty much nothing, and you pay for that. Oh my golai, you pay for that. Yeah.
And then go to university and get in debt. And you have to be in debt, so that now you have to work. And you're working and you're in debt, and then they want you to take on more debt if possible in the form of a mortgage, which a lot of people do, which we can talk about because you're the property type. And then you're in debt now, and once you're in debt, you can't really quit your job, and it's very difficult for you to leave the country. And now they can hold things over you. That's the goal. It's all about control mechanisms, and the system is very well designed to make sure that people are conditioned to obey. It's very
conditioned to obey. I'm in Japan, and in Japan they're conditioned to obey.
Hard for the average person to say no to anything. Unless you have millions and millions and millions of dollars, it's very difficult to even have an opinion on subjects. That's the thing about being a man, and that's what I was saying to the kids. It's like, look, you need to get up, and it's going to be very, very difficult. The world's getting harder and harder, especially for men. It's all clout, it's all status. There's no way you're going to matter unless you get up and you work extremely hard. Should young men aspire to work very hard, have no criminal record, become multimillionaires, protect and provide for the women close to them, be sovereign so they can stand up and have their own points of view in face of cancellation, be able to not be mentally intimidated when they go on national TV and there's traps set up for them? Yeah, I believe that confident, strong men who stand up and protect and provide for women are a good thing for the world and a good force for the world. And I don't think that I put a magic spell on anybody. I think there's a whole bunch of men in the world who understands my value. And if men grow up to be like me, you're gonna have a whole bunch of people with no criminal record, dedicated athletes, who protect and provide for the people close to them.
And guys, there you have it.
Money isn't real. If you know what you have, you don't have much. And once you reach a certain level of money, you don't even know what you have, and you certainly don't own.
Alright, we'll have to see that video for another time, another day. Guys, we're in 2023, and yeah, the men are weak, and the women, fuck, especially in the West, are crazy. These feminist bitches. They want more than they deserve, and too bad, not gonna give that to them. And here in Asia, especially Japan, when there's too much money floating around, they want you. Now, we'll say that for another time, another day, guys. Dennis here from Osaka, Japan. Magic at gmail.com, and talk to you another time, another day. Good night for September, January 21st. Something like that. Alright, guys. Talk to you later.